Howdy folks, it's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, and Ruby. Hey Ruby, say hi. Ruby! So, we're continuously moving forward with the Buick Park Avenue Ultra, the 3800 supercharged engine, replacing basically the top half of the gaskets. Everything except for the head gaskets, lower intake gaskets, upper intake gaskets, supercharger gaskets, valve cover gaskets, exhaust gaskets. We were also looking for an exhaust leak, and I found the exhaust leak actually in the EGR system and Egr Tube, so I'm going to cover that with this video. But right now what I want to show you is the install of the lower intake. And if you watched the previous video, you saw how we got it all cleaned up underneath here, underneath the gaskets and everything, and prep for install, and then we've laid our gaskets down. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do, and this is not in the book, this is something that my mentors taught me, so there is no right or wrong answer to what I'm about to explain to you, but just for some extra caution, in these corners right here where these gasket meet, on these 90s model style GM engines that have this setup, even the newer styles with the lower intake and all that other stuff, whether it's the 3100, the 3800, or the 350, on this lower intake setup, what you can do is you can lay your gasket down and then go ahead and put a dab of RTV right here in this corner, one in this corner, one in that corner, and one in that corner. And that's just going to ensure that these corners seal and they don't start leaking even a few months from now. And so that's just kind of an extra step that was always taught to me to do on this. So that's what we're going to do. First, I'm going to get some compressed air, and we're going to blow any dust and dirt or anything that might have gotten in here while it's been opened up. Going to give it a final clean over, and then we're going to install the lower intake. I've already got the front valve cover reinstalled here with new gaskets and all that other good stuff. And then I'm going to show you what I found as far as the exhaust leak and what's going to need to be replaced to fix that. Alrighty, and there you have it. I've got the lower intake now reinstalled along with the front valve cover. I've got everything torqued down. So on the lower intake, go ahead, all you need to do is Google something like GM 3800 lower intake torque sequence and print off a diagram of the sequence that you need to tighten it down, and then follow it. So it's going to be 1, and then opposite 2, so 2, then 3, then 4 over here, and then 5 is actually not listed. 5 is hidden right there, and then 6 is going to be the lower one there. And then you're going to come to 7, 8. So you got 7 and 8. And then 9. And then 10. And then 11. And then back here to 12. So just find your torque sequence. Go ahead and follow it. And then on the lower intake, you're going to want to torque everything down to around 11 foot-pounds. It's not a whole lot of torque. Be careful, you can break those bolts off. And if you do that, then you're in real trouble, and that's no fun. So now we've got the lower intake properly installed, and don't forget, I went ahead and put some RTV on the corners here to make sure that they sealed well. And now we've got our front valve cover and gasket installed. We just need to start working on the exhaust. Now, when this car originally came in, it came in with an exhaust leak. Exhaust leaks can be hard to pinpoint because of the way sound travels, and an exhaust leak will actually sometimes sound like a bad lifter. It'll tick 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 tick. It'll sound real funny. So I first thought the exhaust leak was possibly coming from the gasket from the rear exhaust manifold, which it's very possible it was coming from there. But the one thing that I actually did find was the EGR system that's connected to that exhaust manifold, the tube that goes from the exhaust manifold to the actual EGR valve, that brackets over here, fell apart on me as I uninstalled it. And so basically it had a hole in it. Okay, and I don't know if you can see in the sunlight here, but you see that discoloration in the metal. It's just old, wore out, and brittle. And so once I got it off, I was able just to go and pull it right apart. So it had a hole in it, and that is why I kept hearing the exhaust leak or the ticking coming down from around in this area. So unfortunately, that's all one piece. I thought, well, maybe I can just smack that out of there, but actually you can't smack that out of there. That's all just one piece. So this bracket and exhaust piece needs to be changed. This is the front EGR tube here that goes to the intake. This is your actual EGR valve, and this is what sits on top of here, like so, and then it all connects to the exhaust system. So woohoo! We found the exact issue of the exhaust leak, but now we do need to get a new part, and I'm not real sure where to get this part at. I looked at it online, a few different places. It's discontinued, so there's a few special places that I found online. So once I figure that out, I'll share that with you guys, and we'll keep moving forward with this. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out with me. If you have any questions, shoot them to me in the comments. We can trade emails and phone numbers. I appreciate everybody's support. This is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, signing off.